Who knew?
Traveling in Kentucky could be so much fun.
Hosted by Mary Engel and Justin Deaton. If you recall, last week we were in Sonoy, Georgia, the home of the Walking Dead. This week we will pick up with Sonoy, Georgia and move on, and include the Stalker Con. Welcome to part 2. So we're going to venture out a little bit now from Sonoy. There's a little place called Grantsville, which is only about like 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes at tops. And that's where Morgan's...
One of my favorite places.
That's where Morgan's lair was at. Or lair is how you say it.
The street that Morgan had set up with all the sticks, the spikes, and he was on top. He had access to the roof. Nobody could get to him. And where he had his son before his son died. So one of my favorite places, because not only is that there, but the scene with the wall, Away With You.
Away With You, one of their marquees for the actual entrance to the show.
It's on the introduction as it comes on every time. That's there, where they found the burning bodies, where they burned the bodies there. And not only that, but when Michonne takes Carl back to the saloon to get the picture of his family that meant so much to him, and she took him back there and helped him get it when all the zombies was inside there. That is right there. Several things just there, that within feet of each other. It's good.
And there is a little shop there that offers tours of Morgan's apartment there.
They take you up the steps all the way, yeah.
So you can go up the steps, you can go in and walk around, and it's pretty well set up the same way it was when they filmed it, and it is a living, breathing set. Matter of fact, Grantsville was up for sale for a while. I think someone finally has purchased Grantsville. It's a very small town, but it's well worth your time and effort to go over to Grantsville and check it out. Also, one of our favorite places was Noonan, Georgia. This is where the governor, when you have the big fight scenes in the back, where they're fighting and zombies, and they're actually cheering one another on. So that's there at the end of Noonan, Georgia. The school where
Shane shot the guy. Was it Otis?
Yes, shot Otis.
Shot Otis. That school's there. You could actually go right to it.
What else was in Noonan? There was something else in Noonan. That motel or hotel was right before you got into Noonan. One of the other places that we went was in Harrelson in Georgia, and this is where the scene where Daryl actually ends up killing Merle, but it's also part of the scene where the governor was fighting with Merle, and they had the shootout. Well, now when we went, they actually had not made it into a tour attraction, and it is now a tour attraction. So just check with somebody there and pay them their $10, and they'll give you the full tour, or whatever the price is. It may not be $10 now, it may be more, I don't know, maybe less, but whatever the price is, just go see them, and they'll take you through the buildings, they'll tell you what scenes were shot, they'll give you the full run of the gamut. They also, I seen some pictures where they provided like a crossbow for people to use and pose and do shots, guns. The other place where we went was
Old Mills Road. Now here is a family-owned piece of property that you can go to, and they charge $10. The bus tour will take you there. You'll still pay that $10. That's why I can't stress enough. To me, one reason we're getting on here, to let you guys know, go to Sonoy, do it yourself on Google's map. Go to Sonoy, you can get there's maps, places to get maps and stuff there, and people to talk to. But go out on your own with Google's map. I'm telling you, it is the best. It's the best. But on Old Mills Road, It's where you guys remember where Rick and the gang met, and Rick told the group that this is not a dictatorship. It was everybody was going to vote on what they done and where they went. They were going to decide together. He wasn't going to be a dictator. So the little campfire there, T-Dog standing up above, and all the other guys that was there, that is right there on their property. And not only that, but something she loved even more. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it with Shia LaBeouf, Lawless. It is on the road, the swamp, the old house, the garage, everything that was shot there was right there on their property as well.
And you can tour that too. They will actually ask you if you want to tour, and
for that same price.
So you just go up into what we call the holler, and when you get to the back of the holler, there is the house that they use for the shoots of Lawless. I mean, they built that house just as a set for that movie, and they have the barn there too, what they use as a carport. And it was just neat to be in that house because we watched the movie, and then when we came home, we watched it again. Because we said, look, can you believe that we were actually standing right there, in that room where they filmed Lawless. So it was a very interesting trip, needless to say.
That actually ended up being one of the better attractions that we went to because the whole movie is filmed there.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there going, I was in every one of those rooms. I mean, I was in that bar. I was at that bar stool. I seen the little hidden tray where they hid their money. I mean, you just have to go see it. Old Mills Road.
Old Mills Road and Lawless. Go, watch Lawless. Watch it before you go, and watch it when you come back, and see how much you remember of the movie once you go, and then when you come back, watch it again and see how much you remember. You'll see things after you've been there and go back home and watch the movie that you didn't really even realize was there, didn't pay any attention to. So yeah, we advise you to do that. Also right there was the church. Remember the church? Where Beth and Daryl went. They come through the field with all the tombstones, and then they went into the church. That church is there. We stopped by and took some pictures of the church and the graveyard, and of course we never went in the church, but it wasn't open, and we just stopped and took pictures. Here's an insider's tip. When we were there, we actually talked to some of the locals, and we talked to some of the other people that are there. And you'll meet people from all over. We've met people from Bradenton, Florida. We've met people from Michigan. We've met people from Boston. We've met people from Henderson, Kentucky. We've met people from Illinois, Indiana. We've met a slew of people from all over. And talk to these people, make friends with them, because some of them really have some really good information for you when you're down there. And like I said, things change frequently. So I was down there in May, and we went back in October, and by the time we got back in October, things had changed quite a bit. Cast and crew members were no longer allowed to stop in the town of Sonoy and sign autographs, but the last time we were down there, which was this past year, in other towns, if they're filming, if you're down there while they're filming in other places like Griffin or Grantsville or Spencersville or wherever they may be, Griffin, you can actually go where find their trailers and just stand outside where the bodyguards are at. And we were in Griffin, and we had weathered the weather all day, had we not? And it was raining and it was getting cold, and we just wanted to meet one of the cast members because he hadn't been able to meet a cast or crew member, so we just wanted to meet one. Well, we knew Daryl's Jeep, and we knew he was still there, and of course, some of the locals and some of the people that were there also doing the Walking Dead scavenger hunt knew Daryl's van. Daryl's Jeep, I'm sorry. So we knew his Jeep was sitting in the parking lot. We could see it. And we tried to weather the weather just to say, hi, we love your show, we love you as an actor on the set, but we didn't make it. We were in Sonoy, and it was raining, and this little gal come up and said, weren't you two just down there at Griffin a while ago? And we was like, yeah. What'd she tell us?
About 15 to 30 minutes after we left, Daryl pulls out in his Jeep, pulls up to him, stops and gets out and says, if you guys been waiting on me in this rain all day, then come on, let's take some pictures. And took pictures with all of them.
So we missed Daryl by 15, 30 minutes. So if you get to watch this, Norman Reedus, he needs a break.
It was worth it though.
It
was worth it. We met a lot of good people there, and just the suspense of will they come? And I mean, we seen them come and go. We seen a bunch of different actors that came and went. And it's something else.
We know we're a little bit on the crazy side. We're a little eccentric when it comes to The Walking Dead. But if you are a fan, then you share with us the love of The Walking Dead, and you can understand why we did what we've done. So,
and if you ever do this and get out there and do this little scavenger hunt and go out and find these places and see one of them and meet them, or go to the Stalker Con, listen, these guys make you want to watch the show even that much more.
Yeah, because they let you know they're people just like you.
Yeah.
They have a job to do, and they do it well. They put themselves in front of a camera and do whatever the job calls for. If it calls for,
I mean, how many
dying,
people out there can say they've actually stood and danced with Tyrese? Here's one that can. She meets him at the Stalker Con, and he walks out, and she's sitting there dancing, doesn't even see him, and he just comes up to her, and he starts breaking it down. So here they are, you know. And
we were getting our groove on, and we were having fun.
The little security guard that he had walking with him, which, I mean, this guy's a brute. I don't know why anybody would say anything to him. But it's like, we need to go. And he's like, man, I'm dancing here. Don't you see me dancing?
He said, give me some love. And they let you know that they're real people just like you. And that's what's so awesome about The Walking Dead and The Walking Dead cast.
That's another thing. We went on that tour. You go to the house where he was bitten.
Okay, guys. So then we was down there a week in October. Now, we found in May they were filming, in October they were filming, and I'm sure that you can find out where they're filming. One of the insider tips that I was going to tell you about a little earlier is the Noonan paper. A lot of times they will let you know where they're going to be filming, so you can maybe go to the area where they're filming and watch them on set. A lot of times you can't get close enough, but sometimes you can. And if you're lucky enough to get close enough, then you do really, it's kind of wonderful to be able to watch them film.
And also, just to follow up on a little of that, one of the girls that we run with that got us into this and big buddies with, and she's a real big fan, been with them ever since. She's worked every Stalker Con that's came.
Yeah, she's worked in Atlanta, and she's worked in the Nashville Stalker Con, and she had a lot of inside tips for us. Patrice Bankins, we love her. She's become a really good friend of ours, and she kind of got us into the Stalker Con. We had plans. We went down in October, right? And we spent like 4 days in Sonoy and was able to catch some of the shoots, because most of the time they stay pretty close. The cast members stay pretty close to Atlanta because of the Stalker Con coming up on that last weekend in October, which actually that Walker Stalker Con is the biggest Walker Stalker Con they have. They have them in Atlanta, Nashville, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Orlando. There are several sites. If you want to know where they're at and if they're coming to where you're at or going to be close to where you're at, just go to the Walker Stalker Con website and they'll tell you when they're coming and you can buy tickets to get in. But we came back from, we went in October that year and we went to the Walker Stalker Con. But when we got to Atlanta, we were there a day before the Walker Stalker Con started. And we went out and we visited some of the sites in Atlanta because there are filming locations in Atlanta. And one of our favorites was Rick's house. We were across the street from the actual scenes where Rick's house is at. So, and then Morgan's house is just down the street. The hospital is just a little bit up the street and across the street. The one where they had all those helicopters and all those zombies laying out there when Rick became conscious and made his way out of the hospital. And then the best part, I think, is the shot that you see where Rick's riding a horse into Atlanta on the highway. That shot is on a bridge just down the street. We went into Atlanta too, and while we were in Atlanta, our GPS system didn't want to work that good because of the buildings. So there were some officers on the street that we talked to, and they were really wonderful and gave us some information about where Terminus was located and where the reservoir was located. But we didn't go to the reservoir because we were told that it was a pretty rough area. Not by the police, but by some of our friends who had actually visited the site. So we kind of stayed away from that one. But, you know, it's there if you want to go see it. But while we were there, we done our first Walker Stalker Con. Now, remind you, I just said our first, right? We had no clue what we were doing. Of course, we had met up with Patrice Bankins, and she was able to tell us quite a bit and gave us a lot of good information about the con itself and what we kind of needed to do. So we're going to share those tips with you now. They have different tickets, right?
Yep. I mean, they're different. They're VIP, they're gold passes, there's several different kinds you can spend a lot of money on. What we would suggest is, by the general admission, find out where they're at, where they're going to be at, what time the door opens, and basically get there as early as possible because there's going to be people there when you get there. Get in line, run in, go to the line that you want to see the most, your favorite person first, and then go from there. And then it's just a free-for-all.
Yeah, sort of like, and what George is saying is if you wanted to see, let's say, Andrew Lincoln, aka Rick, he's there only on certain days. The times that we have done the cons, he's usually there one day, not the entire con, which most of the cons last 3 days, and he's usually there on one day. So if he's going to be there on Sunday, then when you go Sunday and you want his autograph or you want a picture, a selfie, or whatever with him, then you want to be at the front of the line that starts going into the Walker Stalker Con. If you want to see Rick, he's going to be there on Sunday. Be the first one in the line outside the Walker Stalker, because when they open the line, once you're inside to go into the Walker Stalker Con, can get very lengthy. So go early. If the doors open at 8, be there at 6:30. If you want to get Rick's autograph, and then run straight to his booth. Now they have apps that you can download on your phone, on your cell phone, an app that tells you where they're set up at the Walker Stalker Con. But you got 3 days. Pick 3 actors that you really want to meet. Now, when you go in, you do have to once you get in that person's line, there is a charge for selfies, and there are a charge for their pictures. There's a charge for signatures. Now, sometimes people bring their own things in, and they will sign them. If you have a t-shirt you want signed, or if you have a picture of them that you want signed, for example, my Lenny James picture I took in to Lenny James, and he actually said, "Where did we take this?" And I told him, and he was like, "Oh, okay." And he said, "What do you want me to say?" And I said, I told him what to say, and here's the picture. But the other thing is there's panels, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of panels that you can go and view. The panels are actors and actresses that are cast and crew members of The Walking Dead. And we got to see several of them. We learned that Ross McQuarrie was very good at mimicking or miming other people, like Matthew McConaughey. He actually does an awesome Matthew McConaughey. So
He can do almost anybody, by the way.
he can. So anyway, there's a lot of things that you want to do at the Stalker Con. They have a simulated game where you go in. You can either be a zombie or a walker. And if you're a zombie, of course, you're trying to kill the humans. And if you're human, you're trying to kill the zombies. And it's pretty awesome. The other thing that we want to tell you is tell them about volunteering.
We went the first time to Atlanta, and that's where we bought the general admission ticket. We go in, and we really enjoyed that because not only are you seeing The Walking Dead, you know, the people getting up close and personal with them, but do you like Vampire Diaries, Ian Somerhalder, whatever his name is? He's there. R.J. Meady, who I got to work with in Nashville.
Breaking Bad.
Walt Jr. from Breaking Bad, he was there. A1 guy, he is one of the best. But all these people that's there tell you a little bit about them, how they got started. They're glad you come and watch them. And some of the old favorites, Robert Englund, Jason Voorhees, they're there. I mean, Z Nation. I mean, almost. I mean, anybody you could think of, they're there. It's not just Walking Dead. It's a lot of other shows, movies, whatever. These actors come there just to let the fans meet and greet and just let them know they thank everybody for being there.
And you can actually go onto the Stalker Con. It'll tell you who the guests are going to be at that particular Stalker Con. I got to meet Deanna, the mayor of Alexandria. I actually worked with her, Tova Feldingshoe. She was awesome. I got to work with her in Nashville for the 2 days that we were there. And it was a real experience. I think everybody should volunteer if they can. There's a place that you can submit for volunteering on the Stalker Con. Fill out an application, send it in, and if you pass their background check, they will contact you if they can use you. Now, what you get for volunteering is you actually get a food voucher for each day that you're there. You also get a t-shirt that you can take around at the end of the conference or at the end of the con and have as many actors and actresses as you want or can find to sign your shirt and get some selfies. We got quite a few selfies. And then not only did we get some selfies, because most of those actors and actresses that are there, they're really good about taking pictures with the volunteers. Joshua McDermott, Michael Cutzlet, they are awesome about doing that. They will stay there and take as many pictures and sign as many autographs for the volunteers as they possibly can. Some of the others are just as good to do that. And, you know, it's an experience of a lifetime. It's one you can tell your parents about, your grandparents about, your grandkids, your kids. I mean, while you're at the Stalker Cons, they have a lot of other characters. They have people dressed like Michonne. They have people dressed like Rick, Daryl. Any cast member you can possibly think of, that's on The Walking Dead. They're dressed up as, you know, the governor. I'm sure now some Jeffrey Morgans or Negan. But, you know, it's well worth your time and effort. If you just get to do it once, it's a lot of fun. As we bring an end to another show, we would like to say thank you very much for your love and support. We do appreciate our fans. And guys, listen, these are tips just for you. You guys can go to the Stalker Con and Sonoy and Grantsville and all the other sites and do the same thing we did on a budget if you need to. If you need to do it on a budget, remember when you go to the Stalker Con, buy general admission tickets, get there early, and then go get your most favorite actors or actresses' signatures. Remember, there is a cost for those. If you bring your own memorabilia, most of the time they don't charge you for a signature. If you have a platinum pass, you're automatically in first. But generally, you don't have to wait too awful long in the lines unless they're a favorite actor or actress like Negan or Daryl or Rick. Sometimes you do. Also, there are photo ops that you can go to www.walkerstalkercon.com for those purchases of photo ops beforehand. Also, just have a good time. Remember, this is once in a lifetime opportunity. Again, if you like the show, please post, share, and like, and leave a comment. We love you guys, and here's some food for thought as you leave the show tonight. Walker Stalker, who knew? Walker Stalker's zombie class. They teach you how to walk and they train you to be a zombie. They just have to see me get up in the morning. I think I'd pass for a zombie.
Before coffee.
Yeah, before coffee, I think I would qualify as a zombie. Next week's show, the Old Talbot Inn, famous ghost hunt. You might even get to see Jesse James. Who knew?